Hi, my name is Dawn, and I want to give you a little tour of my garden. Today is July 1st, 2023, and I'll tell you a little bit about the garden. We do a lot of vertical gardening. We do a lot of landscape fabric. We put a lot of the plants in the landscape fabric. We do that because I don't want to spend all my time in the garden weeding. Nobody likes to weed. And I work a full-time job, and I don't want to come home and just weed. I'd rather take care of the plants, limb them up, pick the vegetables, harvest everything, cook with them. So we do a lot of fabric, we do a lot of vertical. And once we started doing vertical, I don't know how many years ago, it is amazing. The tomatoes vertically, cucumbers, pole beans, of course, but the snap peas, anything we can do. And now I do my zucchini and my winter squash that way too. So makes life a lot easier picking them. They're healthier plants, a lot more air circulation. So
and you get a lot more stuff in a small space.
Yes, like my husband just said, we get a lot more stuff and we get a lot more stuff in a smaller space. So normally the zucchinis take over like so much room in the winter squash. I do it vertically in a row, and it's not sprawling all over the place. It takes up so much less space. And cucumbers are amazing that way. They grow 8 feet tall, and you're just picking cucumbers above your head, and it's great. And I do pickling. So I plant a lot of cucumbers, and who wants to be down on their hands and knees lifting those cucumbers up with their little spines and getting pricked with them? It's so much easier. Go vertically. It's a lot easier. So here we go. Let me take you for the tour of the garden. Here's our tomatoes. These are determinate tomatoes. We just have these in cages since they don't get as large, and they're doing well. Like I said, it's July 1st, and we got a lot of tomatoes on there. And then we have a bed of onions. And these are our cucumbers. I grow pickling cucumbers. I grow regular straight cucumbers. And I also grow specialty English cucumbers, because those are the ones I love the most. And I make a lot of pickles. So this is why we have so many. We got the first trellis up. We'll trellis it all the way to the top. These are 10-foot posts, so I guess it's about 8 foot to the top. And like I said, it's only July 1st, and they're doing rather well. They're just starting to flower. Here's another bed of my onions. I have about 5 different types of onions in 3 different beds. They're coming along nice. This one looks ready to eat. I need an onion for dinner, so let me take that one with me. That's the one thing about having a garden. You just go to the garden and you find stuff you want to have for dinner, and it's so much fun. I really enjoy gardening. But here's another row of my tomatoes. But this one has tomatoes I started from seed from last year. I'm testing them to see how they come out, to see if they're true. I don't normally save my tomato seeds. I usually just buy them. But I have some cherries here. I have some heirlooms. Those are the black Krim. And then over here I have my pole beans. I don't plant a lot of pole beans, just this little section here, because we plant a lot of bush beans. But pole beans usually come out first. And these are some of my English cucumbers right here. On this bed outside the garden, this is a potato bed that has 4 different types of potatoes in there. And here are my snap peas. They're going to be done soon because it's getting hot, but they're full. I don't know if you can see, but I have to pick these tonight. We have plenty of meals left on this. I don't know if you can see how many there are. My husband is 6'3", so He's able to reach to the top, not me. I have to stand on a little ladder. And over here, these will be also vertical. We'll have cages on them. And these are my winter squashes, acorn squash, butternut squashes in this row here. And then in this last row, bed 10, we have all different summer squashes. Zucchinis, yellow zucchini, green zucchinis, and different types. We just put some potatoes in here. We have 3 rows here, only because when we ordered the potatoes, seed potatoes, we just had so many and I don't like to throw things away. So we also put potatoes in here. This is a bed my husband just rototilled this morning. We had to plant our third planting of carrots in here. And this is how I grow my peppers. I have all types of peppers here. My favorite is Flavor Burst. We also grow them vertical like this. They get so heavy with the peppers that they always fall over. And I don't like putting cages all over the place, so this just works easy. And yeah, we get a good amount of peppers. Here's a Black Beauty. I'm not very good at this taping and showing the garden, so if you saw something and you have a question, let me know and I'll answer you in the comments. But here I have dill. Here I have my pollinators. I plant all kinds of flowers, so I attract the bees for all the vegetables. And I have zinnias and all different types of flowers that attract bees. And then they're also cutting flowers, so I get to bring these beautiful flowers into my house. But look at all these clusters. Here I have the pineapple. I have Martha Washington, which is a hybrid, but it's a great tomato. I have Black Krim, Purple Cherokee, all different types of tomatoes. I like heirlooms, but I do use hybrids also. Yeah, those are some more indeterminate tomatoes. And here's another row of cucumbers. And these are the ones that I have that are the longs, some more English. Right here, I'm getting my first baby cucumber, which is awesome. And if you notice, some of the rows have the plastic. It's just landscape fabric. The water goes right through it. That helps with weeding. It helps me, because otherwise I just weed whack the rows. But it's really nice when you don't have to weed around all the plants, especially with the onions. This is the 2nd year I think we're doing it in the fabric. Yeah, we just make holes in here and we plant the onion sets right in there, and it works amazing. Even if the onions get bigger than those holes, which they do, then it comes right out from the bottom. When they get big, I'll show you. And then over here I have my strawberries. These are everbearing. You can see they're getting new. I was eating so many strawberries this spring. It was amazing. So here's some strawberries. This one's a little just turning red, but they're starting to get a new flush of flowers. And these are the other strawberries. These are the Juneberry. Just a lot of weeds I got to get through in the back, but they produce a lot. And here I have some herbs. I have just some oregano, some parsley, some thyme. I have some stevia. Here's my little celery patch, which is doing great this year. I have Utah, Tall Utah, and Tango. Look how nice it is. Better than a store. Nice and solid. And over here in this part of the garden, we just planted these today. I transplanted them. These are 5 different types of bush beans. I have 2 kinds of French beans, then jade Jaguar, and Carlson. They should do well. In 2 months, I should have lots of string beans. And here are my regular main string bean that I usually plant. This is Jade. You can see in here, they're just starting to have string beans. In a couple weeks, I should be able to start picking them. And these are my plum tomatoes. And here's some more peppers. Different types of peppers. I have Red Knight, King of the North, some frying peppers. And then I have some Swiss chard right here, which is awesome. We do have some leeks right here. They're not doing that great, but they're not doing that bad. So maybe in a couple weeks I'll be doing better. That's just an empty spot right there for now. I'm going to be planting kohlrabi or something in there. And here's some more flowers. Like I said, I always plant flowers so I can attract the bees to get them in here. Here's some of my dill. Like I said, I make pickles, so I plant a lot of dill, zinnias, and some flowers. And here is my brassica bed. We haven't put the netting over them yet, which we will. We just have to put the hoops on and put the netting on there to keep the moths away. But I have some cabbage in here, some broccoli. I have some sprouting broccoli, regular broccoli, and I have a couple cauliflower twister. And here I have my hot peppers and a couple kohlrabi. It's tucked away in the middle. But I have hot Hungarian wax, some jalapenos. I think I have a couple poblanos, and here's a lot more Hungarian wax, which are my favorite. They're not that hot, but you put them in food and they have such a nice flavor when you cook them. Here's some more dill, and here's all my little eggplants. This netting's really nice. You see here, I'm getting a eggplant right there. And then this year I planted a new one, Littlefinger, that I've never planted before. And they're just supposed to be small little eggplants, the size a little bit bigger than your finger. Here's one now. So we'll see how they taste. So I always like to experiment with different vegetables. And my greenhouse is pretty much done, except for I have some broccoli florets to still cut off. This was my spring broccoli. It gets really hot in here. I'll let the weeds go, but I have all these little florets to cut off. Since I cut the main head off, the broccoli produces these side heads. And these are my sprouting broccolis, which are, this is what they look like. And you just cut them off like that, and you put them in stir fries and stuff like that. They taste like broccoli, but milder. And here I just have a couple cucumbers in here I just want to try. Cucumbers around here get diseases, so I want to try them in a greenhouse. I just picked 3, and I'm going to grow them up on the strings. I do some tomatoes in here like that to get some earlier tomatoes, which this year the ones outside are doing so well. I think they'll be about the same time. And then I just have a couple cabbages that are done. Nice firm head. Like I said, this is our winter and early spring garden. And then we do some fall crops, so we can get some fall crops later on. You know, we get an extended period of vegetables. This is was my carrot bed, which I still have carrots in here and weeds. Let me see. See if I can pull. There we go. This is Mokum. They're not a nice little sized carrot. They're kind of small, but they're nice and full, and they are very, very flavorful. And here I just have a little patch of beets. These are the yellow. So that's the only thing that's staying. The beets, these couple tomatoes, and the cucumbers. The broccoli, I'm going to pick all that, and I'm probably going to take that out of here. And what's nice is my neighbor has goats. Hey, all the goats. No, I don't have anything right now. Alrighty. Oh, and on the way out of the garden, we have another bed of tomatoes. Over here, these are indeterminate tomatoes. We also just grow them in the cages because, you know, they're only going to reach the top of that cage. And so the wind doesn't knock them down, which we've had in the past. We put this bar in and put all the cages in. And I have different times I plant them so I don't get them all at once. Yeah. So that's just a little tour of the garden. And like I said, the fabric there really makes it nice, keeps the weeds down. And here's a look at the potato bed, which is rather large. We really enjoy when it's time to harvest them. I did videotape last year harvesting them, but I never put up any kind of video. I'm not sure if people want to see gardening videos and harvesting, so I thought I would give it a try and tape this and see how it goes, because we really enjoy it. Fresh vegetables are so much better than store-bought any day. Even a fresh potato is so much different than a store-bought potato. You wouldn't think it, because you would think it would be the same, but it's not. The ones in a store are stored in a storage shed for almost a year before they sell them. And a fresh potato has a lot less starch, and they're just so much creamier. I hope you liked the tour of the garden. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll try to answer it as best I can. And I'll try to give an update tour of the garden in a couple weeks, and we should have a lot more vegetables by then, hopefully some ripe tomatoes, which I can't wait for. So have a nice day.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.